Hello, everyone. Welcome to another month with Umoja Events, the Juneteenth team for our micro labs. We are very excited to have you joining us another day. Today is March. It is a Women's History Month. As you can see, my mystical black woman. I had to make sure that I had my mystical black woman earrings on today. What a great time to do so. So thank you all for joining us. Today we have a very, very special person who is joining us. We've had conversations with a number of people, including some in the married groups, some with our team. We've talked about hair and how hair has transformed not only through time, but hair has also transformed through an individual's lifetime. And what I mean by that, right? So when I first got married, my hair was long and permed and down to the middle of my back. Then I had my first child, and I think my hair went from that to more like short curls. And then after that, I went to being all natural for the next two births. Then I cut it all off for the last one, and now during quarantine, I am locking my hair. So over the course, and I think during quarantine, I also had a little Afro, session going on. If my husband's watching, he'd be like, "I know, I didn't like that very much." So we definitely had some conversation about the whole Afro thing. But these are females, and this is something that we go through often. And having conversations about hair is very big. But before I continue to go into all of that, I do want to share with you some updates about what we have going on. So let me bring that up here. So, uh, emoji events highlights. So I love my team, my background team, or should I say, my support team, my interns. They have been holding me down through this quarantine, and I have been promising them that as long as they are with us, that we'll continue to build them up and give them resources as they grow. So they put this together for us. So these are our highlights. So join me for networking. So every Friday on Zoom between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m., we do a live networking group. And you go to our Bitly, it's Umoja Network. We talk about you get 30 seconds to talk about your business. You get to share any ways that others might be able to network with you. And you're not just meeting with people who are here. Some people join from Texas, some people join from Atlanta. So it's a great way, especially if you have products or anything that's virtual, that's online, that you can use for you to be able to connect with other people. And everyone in that group is so willing to support each other. It's almost sickening sometimes. I'm like, oh, like this is really awesome. Like y'all really care about the benefit of other people's business. So definitely, if you're interested, it's only an hour from 9 to 10. We definitely want you to be on camera. So don't think you're just going to wake up out the bed and just jump on. But definitely get yourself together. You're representing your business. So come to network. And that's every Friday from 9 to 10. Next up, so we were talking about our Kwanzaa Hats Award event. We have decided to reschedule it to October. So we just wanted to make sure that we are sharing that with you. So we know we had a couple of nominations, and we'll send out emails to all of you who nominated someone. But we are going to reschedule until October. With everything that's going on, a number of people recently have experienced some loss and some sickness for themselves. And we want to be kind to ourselves during this time. And it is no reason for us to stress ourselves with added undue stress. So we decided to push this event back. We are still having it. It will still happen in 2021. We want to make sure that we are able to put crowns on our queens and to do so the right way. And so that's why we had to move it back a little bit. So definitely be on the lookout for information about that in October. Next up, this is the meat and potatoes of what we are all about, our Juneteenth event. Rebirthing the roots of entrepreneurial excellence is our theme for this year. It is our 12th annual Juneteenth. We did 10 in person. Last year was all virtual. This year, we're praying that it's going to be virtual and in person. So we're working on it being hybrid. It all depends on the society, how everything kind of shapes up. And the other change that we have is not just one day. Oh my gosh. So we are doing a 3-day event. We are doing a summit for our Juneteenth. Day one is going to be about health and wellness, where we are talking about mind, body, and soul. So we will have some cooking classes that'll be going on. We will teach it about how to make smoothies, how to exercise. We'll be talking about some of the things that really plague the Black community as far as heart health, as far as kidney health, and as far as cancer is concerned, because those are the three major illnesses that affect us. And we'll have some nutritionists on. So we'll have a number of professionals that are from our community that are sharing different things, and that will be going from 9 until 6. And we are looking for vendors to present during that time. So we will have opportunities for vendors to be a part of our day one activities. Day one is all virtual. So 100% of it will be online, will be on a platform here, and we hope that you're able to join us. Day two is our festival, our Juneteenth celebration, like we've always had. It's always happened Father's Day weekend, and this one is no different. It just so happens that this is the first time out of the 12 years that we've been doing it that Juneteenth has actually fell on a Saturday. It's typically falling during the week, so we're usually, doing dual events, something during the week and then something on the weekend. But this time, this is the first time that everything coincides on one day. And we will not be giving you guys anything short of amazingness. We have some great relationships that we've built, and as soon as we're ready to express what those are, we will definitely. So we hope that you're following us on our YouTube page. We hope that you're following us on our Facebook page and staying connected to us. Go to our website, JuneteenthNY.com, so that you can get all kinds of updates about what we have going on. And day three is about our pomp pageant. So you might ask, what is a pomp? So we are doing a segment focusing on our young people. So I think I had a conversation the other day with some trustees, some very important people, I call them, and they asked, what do we need in society? Like, what do we need in our neighborhood? What would be a great addition to our community right now? And I said, coming back from COVID, one of the biggest things that I feel like we're going to lose first as far as finances are concerned are our extracurricular activities in our schools for our young people. That's going to be the first thing to go. The arts classes, the gym classes, the chess classes, the swimming classes, all of the things that our children, especially those who are African American, that they will be able to get scholarships from. So when you start to apply to college, what's the first thing to ask you? What kind of activities have you been engaged in? How long have you been involved with them? So if we don't have them available, how are our children going to answer those questions? Not all the time do we have the finances to be able to put them into a YMCA program or other programs that are out there that require substantial money. A lot of our children are getting that from our school system or from local community organizations. But that's going to be gone. So we put together this pomp. We are pushing our entrepreneurs to our young entrepreneurs, because everyone now is trying to figure out how they could be more sustainable. So we put together a 9-week program. We have limited spaces. We are not taking a lot of people to participate in this event. It is our first time doing this. It is a $350 application fee. There are scholarships available. So if you have a young person that's between the ages of 14 and 19 years of age who would be interested, and we're looking for males and females, and that's we're looking for you to represent your neighborhood. Definitely give us a call. Winners will receive cash prizes. You will receive a scholarship to a HBCU. We are pulling out, like I said, all the stops. And this is not about the fashion. A long time I was so not against pageants, because I was like, oh, it's all about fashion, it's all about vanity, and I'm so not about vanity. I am about a purpose. How are you putting your purpose in the world? And this is how we are helping our young people to put their purpose into the world. So as you can see, we have 9 weeks. We're talking about etiquette. We're doing dance sessions. And guess who's teaching our dance sessions? If you were with us last month, you saw our Black Rockettes. They will be teaching the dance sessions for our young people. So you will get the opportunity to meet some amazing individuals and to connect with them and to be mentored by some amazing people who just want to pour into our young people and see them be magnificent in the world. So we definitely hope that you will go to our website, juneteenthny.com, to register to participate. If you have any questions, we will be doing a information session on this Tuesday. So go to website and you can register, and it will be every Tuesday leading up to the deadline, which is April 14th. So April 14th is the last day that you will be able to apply to participate. Next up, if you are looking to become a vendor at any of our events, that's our Friday, Saturday, or Sunday events for Juneteenth, we have over 5,000 people who typically attend our event when we're in person. And last year, with us being virtual, we had well over 20,000 people who attended and watched after. So it is definitely a great way to get exposure for your business if it is something that you are interested in doing. And last up, if you do decide to be a part of our vending event for the weekend, you will have the opportunity to be a part of our Juneteenth Black Business Directory. So it is basically a space where we are pushing and supporting our Black businesses in the tri-state area. And this is the way that we were able to come up with that. So we'll have some training, some workshops. We'll be doing some book clubs where we're focusing on business. So it is definitely behooves you. And it's from January 1st to December 31st. I know we're in March. You're like, oh, how does that work? We will extend you a courtesy of an additional 3 months if you decide to join now. And last but not least, what are we doing? We have been virtual for the last year now, right? It's almost a year. My birthday is next week, so it is almost a year because on my birthday is when we went into full lockdown on March 27th. So that is why that date is stuck in my brain, in my mind. But how have we pivoted since? We are doing virtual online games and activities. We have a live DJ. So we are doing birthday parties. We're doing all kinds of events for corporate, for schools. So if you're looking at ways to engage with people in your industry or people overall, your family, your schools, definitely give us a call. And that's at the Linktree/emoji events. And that is all from me. So I am all done with our highlights. I am going to bring up our host for this evening, Miss Jamie, the high healer Lloyd. How are you doing, sister?
I'm doing amazing, excited, and looking forward to asking Nicole some questions.
Awesome. So let's bring Nicole up. How you doing, Nicole?
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm honored. Can't wait.
Awesome, awesome. Well, now that you were backstage hearing all about all the million
Yes.
things that we do.
Look, I want to be a vendor. I want to do a video. I want to do it all. I want to be a part of it all. I was like,
Awesome.
oh yeah, okay. Let me sign up.
I saw you writing stuff down there. I
Yeah.
was like,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. So, Jamie, I'm going to pass it over to you and I'll be backstage supporting you.
All right, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Well, greetings, Nicole. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome
Greetings.
to our Juneteenth monthly lab.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here and to be a part of what you guys have going on. It's empowering, educating, and entertaining, right? So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to have you. So let's see. I'm gonna start by asking you to introduce yourself to the community and let us know a little bit of something. Are you? How did you fall in hair? Tell us all about your love affair with hair.
Okay, that's a long story. I'll make it kind of short. So, my name is Nicole Grant. I go as Simply Nikki. I've been doing hair for almost over 20 years now. So this is not new to me. It's a passion of mine. I love it. Sometimes people ask you, would you do it for free? And I would, but I do it for finances as well. How did I start? Interesting story. I didn't grow up wanting to be a hairstylist. I thought I was going to be an executive owning a business in the city. Always wanted to stay in New York. Wanted to be an executive owning a business, and I thought I was going to have live in a penthouse and have a Black Panther as a pet. I'd say that every time. That did not work. Uh, the life did not work out like that. A girlfriend of mine, while we were in high school, came over and was like, "Oh my God, I need you to braid my hair." And I'm like, "What? I don't braid. What are you talking about?" So I started braiding hair. Um, and I wasn't licensed at the time, so I was going to people's houses doing their hair, and I went to a salon owner's salon to braid her hair, and she was like, you can make a lot of money doing hair. I was like, really? What do I have to do? She was like, well, if you get your license, you can work in my salon until you develop a clientele. So at the time, I had just started working temp for Human Resources in the city, and I decided to go to school. So I went to school, got my license, and I quit my job, and been doing it ever since. And it has been a passion of mine. I have not had to, a lot of times hair is a hobby for people, and they'll do it at home. Their girlfriend will do it. They'll do it in their kitchen. Their mama, you know what I mean. But it is absolutely a profession for me. I've been all over the world, all over the country, and I have not. I do other things, but I have not said, "Okay, I'm not going to do hair no more. I need to get a second job." It has once I've started, I've been doing it for the past 20 years. Have had my own salon for that time, different spaces, but I still love it. I still love it. And I don't think I'm ready to leave a legacy for some folks that really want to do it as a career and not as an influencer on YouTube. And you know how it's going nowadays. So
So
that's
it
it.
sounds like you want to help people find their purpose and passion.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely. I would love to do
Got it.
that. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful. There, what that actually has me led to do is to ask Athenia to show your video, and then
oh sure.
from, and from there we'll pick up from where the video leaves off and your share as
Great.
well.
Great.
And does the video have sound?
It does. It should have some music to it.
All right. Because if you'd like, you're also welcome to tell us a little something about what we're looking at. And this is
Oh,
beautiful.
okay.
I could so
Okay,
see.
so these are actually some clients that I've done. This young lady was at a hair show. That's a client of mine. So basically, it's just clients that I've done over the years. This one, the braids was she was going to Trinidad Carnival. This is I work for a hair care company, so a lot of times I travel around the country doing the big hair shows. That was a hair show style. That's actually another client. That is me doing a photo shoot. That's a hair show style. So just over the years I've done. That's another hair show style. Another hair show style.
Wow.
That's me on stage at one of the big hair shows in Atlanta. I've also done some print work for a lot of the major hair care brands. So that's a brand called Curl Essence. So a lot of the things that you see in the marketplace, a lot of it might be my work. This was a collection that I've done for something called the North American Hairstyling Awards. And what that is like one of the most prestigious hairstyling awards across the United States of America. And I had the honor of entering. And actually, I didn't get placed, but I was able to um, get my work in something called the People's Choice Award. And the people would pick to see if you ended up being a candidate. And I got over like 2,000 votes. So that particular event is something that a lot of African American stylists don't endeavor to do because it's a real critical piece that you have to show off. So the fact that I was even able to do it and get nominated is like something that is a real honor. So I was excited about that. So basically, that was just a few of some of the stuff that I've done. Definitely not over the years, been so long, but yep. So that's it.
Beautiful. All right, beautiful. Your work speaks for itself. It looks
Thank
amazing. I
you.
see the love put into creation.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess my question for you next would be, what is your favorite hair to care for natural hair, for putting in weaves and transforming? I saw that you definitely are a major artist when it comes to
Mhm.
show hair. I can see why you show up for that, and why I,
Mhm.
I was a person looking to do hair in my show. That design that you had with the braids and the,
Mhm.
I was completely wowed at the artist.
Oh,
But what is
thank
your
you.
favorite thing to do?
So I am a creative. I'm a stylist. However, I'm into healthy hair. So I need to make sure that whatever we do, the health of your hair comes first. I like haircuts. I've been deemed a texture specialist since natural hair is now a visible movement. And when I say visible movement, is that it was always a movement, but now that we have social media and all of the things that people can see, it seems like, oh my goodness, natural is a thing. And since like the 2000s, people are like, oh, I don't want to relax my hair anymore. And so now my favorite thing to do is share and help women understand their texture, because we were always relaxing our hair. And I think even on a professional level, most professional hairstylists don't know how to do natural hair,
Mm,
because we're not taught that in school. We're
gotcha.
taught how to relax hair. We're taught how to do um, perms and relaxers, and
Mhm.
there's not a curriculum for how do you handle hair that's curly, kinky, coily. So since the movement has started, a lot of professional stylists obviously have lost their business because they didn't know how to do it. And quite obviously, it's been a few years, so people are starting to learn. But there was an underground movement that happened with natural hair. So there are experts, quote unquote, that are not professional, but they know so much about it because they had to learn on their own.
Mhm.
So for me right now, my biggest passion is just helping women understand products, understand what works well for their texture, their curl type, their lifestyle, and just making them beautiful. It's not really a particular thing. Whatever you need, I'm passionate in making sure that you get it.
That's perfect. That is so perfect. You're there. So my next question, it leads me directly into my next question, which is,
Hmm.
what does 3A, 4C, 3B, 2A as it relates to hair texture and hair type? What does this really mean? Help
What?
us out here.
Okay. So we are. It's so funny that we are easily led people. It is interesting how media and marketing just takes us on a down a rabbit hole. So it's not a new thing, but let me see. It had to be maybe in the 90s. There's a hairstylist. His name was Andre Walker, and he came up with a system to identify curl texture and type. And it was um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what happened is mainstream, we narrowed it down to 1 to 4, and then we made it 4A, 4B, 4C, 3A, 3C, 3B. Basically, on a layman's terms, it's either your hair is straight, your hair is kinky, your hair is coily, your hair is curly. That's pretty much what it is. How to identify it? If you say that your hair is 1, that means your hair is straight. If your hair is 2, you have a little S pattern. If it's 2A, it becomes a little tighter S. 2B is a little tighter. 2C is wavy. 3A means that I wish I uh I wish I had the chart to show you what it means. Basically, when you get to 4C, that means your hair is really, really tight. You shampoo it and it shrinks back to your head. That's like the hardest curl type or texture to deal with. And most of the products that you see or most of the videos that you see, they don't address that curl type at all. So that is the curl type that people have the most issues with. And it's basically the tightest texture. Then there's 4B, which is not as tight. It doesn't shrink as much. 4A is a little less tight. Then you get to your wavy, which is 3A, 3B, 3C. But basically, it's your hair is wavy, curly, coily, kinky. That's it.
So, question for you, based on what you just shared about foreseeing it not being a lot of products or things that are made for that type of hair, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure our community probably has a lot of that type of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Mm-hmm.
there are there some like maybe a top three nutrients or something specific that should be fed to our hair, that we should feed
Well,
our?
so curly hair or coily hair, the characteristic of it is that a lot of times that hair is dry, a lot of times your scalp is irritated, a lot of times you can't retain moisture. And the reason why that is because of the way that our hair grows out of our scalp.
Mm,
So let's say in comparison to someone that has straighter hair that needs to shampoo their hair every day. And the reason why they do is because the oils come straight out of the scalp because the hair is straight. So the tighter coiled your hair is, the more moisture your hair requires, the more oil your hair requires. So as far as products and because of the natural hair movement and the marketing and the bigger companies know that African American women or people, we are the biggest consumers. So they heavily market to us, and they market to us with keywords that they think that we want to hear. This is going to make your hair hydrate. This is going to make your hair soft. This is going to make your hair grow. And in all actuality, a lot of those product lines, and I'm not naming any particular one, but a lot of them have ingredients that do the adverse effect.
mhm.
So this is what we tend to do because we're searching for something. We'll buy what the product says it will do, and our bathrooms are full of product, and we're not getting that holy grail that we're looking for.
Oh wow.
So to circle back to your question, what does that hair texture need? So that hair texture really needs care. And when I say care, meaning that we need to take time with it. We need to love it. We need to um, there's a thing called a wash and go. That texture here cannot wash and go because when you shampoo it, if you don't put the right shampoo in it, if you don't use the right conditioner on it, if you don't take time to detangle it, you can't just go. And it becomes very frustrating. So we need to hydrate, we need to moisturize, and we need to make sure that we're detangling it well. So that's like a whole process. And I think a lot of people that have that texture get frustrated. They go searching, and it's really individual of how that care needs to happen because everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody's body is different. Their chemistry is different. So the thing that would work for the person on YouTube that has 4C, you may go out and buy it, and then you say, I did everything she did, and my hair doesn't look like that because it's on an individual basis. So it's about educating yourself about you, your body, your personality, what products is going to work for you, even though you may have the same texture hair as your friend.
Yes. So I'm not sure if you see the question that popped up down there.
Are there any hair products that you
Product.
suggest? Oh, y'all trying to make me name names. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't want to name. I'm not going to endorse
So
a
how about
particular
are there
product.
that we should definitely stay away from? Are there
Let
like
me,
top three?
yes, yes. So ingredients are key. You should stay away from products that have parabens. You should stay away from products that have sulfates. You should stay away from products that have triclosan. Stay away from products that have fragrances. Stay away from products that have formaldehyde.
Mhm.
Actually, I wrote a list down for you
Is
guys.
that what they use to embalm?
Yes,
Oh wow.
but some smoothing treatments, some keratin treatments have formaldehyde in it. And then also when you're looking at a product, right? First of all, understanding ingredients is key. When you're looking at a product and nine times out of 10, the first four ingredients. So the way product listing goes is the first ingredient has the most in it. The last ingredient has the least in it. So let's say something says jojoba oil hair moisturizer, and you're looking for the jojoba oil in it, and you see all of these names that you can't read, and jojoba oil is the second to last thing. That
Mm,
means that the jojoba oil that's in there is not enough to give you what you need, and the chemicals is more than the jojoba oil. In addition to that, there are some natural ingredients that have the chemical name to it. So it may say cocoa something something something, and it'll say coconut next to it. So when you're looking and they have to tell you the ingredients on the products. So when you look at it, my rule of thumb is if you can't read the ingredient or you don't understand what it is and it doesn't have the layman term next to it, like it may say cocoa something something, and it'll say coconut oil, or it may have shea something something, and it'll say shea butter. If it doesn't have those things and it's just a bunch of ingredients, that's not the go-to product for you,
gotcha.
because it nine times out of 10, and there's so many products on the market, and I'm not a product basher.
Mhm.
But there are a lot of products. When I say not a product basher, now, if I'm doing a consultation in my salon, I usually have the client either take a picture of everything that they have or bring it to me. And I go through all of the ingredients and, okay, keep this or no, throw that away. So because we're in a public forum, I won't sit here and say, oh, don't use XYZ or yes, because that's just not how, you know what I mean? It's not about taking money from anybody's pocket. And then I don't want you guys to get a flag and say, who was she? We're going to sue her for defamation of character, or whatever the case is. So
Totally.
basically, though, just a guide to understanding how to choose a product is make sure that there's more natural ingredients than non-natural ingredients. And then when you're looking at the back of the ingredient list, the ingredients go from the most amount in it to the least amount. So if the first 10 things are names that you can't read and the English term is not next to it, then that means that that product it has more chemicals in it than natural.
Got you. So, question for you. Next question. What are the best ingredients to use for growing hair thick? For thick
Growing hair thick.
and in the hair.
So so growing hair thick um, is a genetic thing, can be a genetic thing,
Mhm.
because if your makeup is not, if you've never had thick hair as growing up, growing your hair thick may not necessarily be an achievement. So healthy hair is a better term to say, because your hair can be fine and still be healthy. So just hair growth in general is about making sure. So hair growth comes from the inside out, right? So your body, what goes on the inside, plays a big part on whether or not your hair is growing. Once the hair comes out of your scalp, your goal is to keep your hair that's growing out in a healthy state so it can stay longer. But growth really comes from your scalp being healthy. So if
Mhm.
your scalp is not um, healthy, if your scalp is not like, if your scalp is inflamed, or if you have some type of skin disorder, if you're not shampooing your hair regularly, hair growth is not going to happen. If you're not eating well, hair
Got you.
growth doesn't necessarily happen. If you're not drinking enough water, hair growth is not happening. If you're on medication, so there's so many things that influence hair growth, and product is the secondary thing.
Got you.
Does
So
that
another
make sense?
question came up for me in regards to your share or to your answer is, are there any foods that you would suggest that a person who wants to eat for their
So
hair?
they absolutely. So of course, drinking water is optimal. You need to eat like green leafy vegetables, vitamin A, zinc, minerals, biotin. Um, so what is in those things? So green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, eating nuts, fruit, making sure you're drinking water, making sure you are sleeping well. exercising, all of those different things. Because the other thing too is that blood flow determines hair growth. And the other thing too is the hair and the skin are the two biggest. The skin is the biggest organ on your body. And when your body is not getting the nutrients that it needs, the skin and the hair is the last thing to get it. So if you notice that your hair is not doing well, that means your body is lacking the nutrients and it's pulling everything from it, and your hair is the last thing to get it. So there is no quick scheme to hair growth. There is no quick scheme. I know you can, people can go get their bodies done and do all of that, but the when blood flow, it does. I'm just reading the caption. She said blood flow determines hair growth. It absolutely does. So just taking care of yourself in general will help your hair to grow better. And then having a regimen that you're caring for your hair. So protective styles, weaves, lace front wigs, um, tight ponytails, those things are not growth promoting. And if you're doing it over time, it tends to have an adverse effect. So yes, it may look beautiful for a minute, but you could be wearing the same style for 6 months and be like, oh my goodness, my hair is falling out, not realizing it was progressive.
Got it.
So we can get into hair growth. Hair growth happens in 3 phases. It's called an anagen phase, a telogen phase, and a catagen phase. And the anagen phase is where your hair is growing. The telogen phase is where your hair is resting. The catagen phase is when your hair is coming out. So any given time, any parts of your head, those growth things can be happening. But let's say you are experiencing hair loss. First of all, we lose hair every day, 80 to 100 strands a day, period. Even if you are, thank you for all of it. Oh, thank you. Even if you are taking care of your hair, you're losing it every day. Just like we shed skin, the same thing with hair. So if you're losing 80 to 100 strands, it may not seem like a lot, but then in a couple of months or so, you start seeing hair just coming out, and it's like, okay, what's going on? So you go back and check, what have I been doing wrong? Is something different? Is something, did I change something? Am I using a different product? So there's so many factors in just hair, and not just style. We just all about style, and I want to sound the alarm right now for a lot of the styles that I'm seeing that people are doing, not realizing in the next few years, you guys are going to be screaming because your hair's falling out,
Mm,
because you're doing all of these different things to it and not realizing that it's having an adverse effect.
got
So, yeah, it's
it's interesting that you actually brought that up, because my next question was going to be, and you can actually respond by deepening what you were just sharing about the different hairstyles and which ones are dangerous for us, the ones
Mhm.
that have some red flags, and tell us why. And also share your knowledge or any information that you may have on alopecia and how it affects our community, and just anything that comes up for you, because you're not,
Okay.
I love the way you share it. It doesn't
Oh,
really
thank
much
you.
direction at all.
Thank
So
you.
I have a feeling you're about to wow me with some
I,
facts and things that I probably can't.
yeah. So on top of me being a licensed cosmetologist, I'm also a trichologist.
Mm,
And a trichologist is somebody that studies hair and scalp disorder. And alopecia is just hair loss in general. And there's so many different types of alopecia. There's so many different reasons why people lose their hair. But what I'm finding, and this is becoming like very prevalent in African American community, that we are losing our hair um, for a lot of different factors, and one of the big ones is a preventable one, and it's the hairstyles that we do. So braiding your hair too tight, obviously, it is it bothers your hair. It's gonna eventually. First of all, our hairline is the most sensitive part of our hair in general. That's the part that usually comes out. That's the part that it's hard to grow. So we think that a protective style is like the best thing for it. But no, if you're doing that over and over to that same area, your hair is going to come out. And there's something called traction alopecia. And traction alopecia is a type of hair loss that happens from traction, meaning your weave is too tight, your braids are too tight, you're constantly brushing, you're constantly pulling. And it's interesting that it is more prevalent in the African American community, because of the styles that we wear. And we don't realize it until later on down the line, like, oh my God, my edges fell out. And then it also can come from you relaxing your hair over the years, where, you got to have that hair straight. You got to make sure you put the cracker on it to make it straight. And then even to, now straight edges are a thing, like gel that we use and we brush and we do the baby hair and all of that. Those things can be extremely damaging to us, and we don't realize it until over time. It's like, oh, my hair came out, or my hair is coming out. Also, as far as alopecia, there is something called androgenetic alopecia that I'm noticing a lot with African American women, where they're starting to thin in the crown of their hair. And that is something that is genetic, meaning that it comes from either your mom's side or your dad's side. And it starts off very small. And if you don't take care of it over time, it gets worse. So if that's happening, it's better to look into it, to start treating it so it doesn't expand as fast sooner than later. I've seen, and this is another pet peeve that I have, there are people that do amazing weaves and wigs on people that have hair loss. And quite obviously, yes, we're very conscious of how we look. So we're not going outside with our hair not looking good. But I think that there's not enough education for stylists on how to treat the hair loss. So instead of us trying to fix it, we put a band-aid on it, which makes it even worse. So depending on what you have, there are some people that they're at a stage of hair loss where there's nothing they can do but get a weave or a wig. But then there are people that they're in the beginning stages of it. So instead of putting the band-aid on, see what you can do so it doesn't progress any further. Um, let's see, what else can we say about hair loss?
So would you say that that also could happen for like folks that wear the same ponytail for
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
for a really
Uh,
long time and
oh,
things?
somebody said, wow. Yes, wow. You guys asking questions, is that the same thing? Wearing your oh, absolutely. So the other thing too, with as far as styles is concerned, anything, just in general, too much of anything is not good, right? That's just the adage in general. So if you're wearing a ponytail and all you do is wear ponytails and you're putting it in the top of your head all the time, it would make sense that that hair is going to get thin in that area because you're putting traction on it all the time. So if you want to wear a protective style, for me, protective styles are supposed to be protective. So when it comes to curly, coily hair, um, sometimes it's best to rest it, meaning not really do too much combing and pulling to it, especially if you're not using the proper product. So we've opted for a protective style. A protective style is a style that your hair is covered. However, if it's too tight and you're wearing it for um, 3 or 4 months and you haven't cleaned your scalp, it's not protective anymore. Your hair is going to is going to have an adverse effect. So protective styles, braids, wigs, weaves, sure, you can do them, but everything in moderation. So let's say you're wearing a weave. Weave should only be, I think that 8 weeks is the cap, the most. And if you have the weave, you need to be in between getting your scalp cleaned and getting your hair maintenance. So that means you should be shampooing your hair in between. If you're not shampooing, you should be cleaning your scalp in between, because remember, a healthy scalp is what's going to promote hair growth. And then also, you have to be mindful of how that weave is being put on. For me, the sewing method of a weave is the best one.
Okay.
And the reason why that is because your hair is braided underneath and it's protected, and you're just putting the track on it, as opposed to the new micro link weave that little metal thing is actually rubbing and pulling your hair. The lace front wigs are, you're gluing it down to your hairline, which means that you're putting adhesive on your hairline. And if you have hair there, eventually that hair is going to get pulled out. So after you take the wig or the weave out, what's going to happen? Like, wigs to me, like there was a post on Instagram. It's like you used to laugh at your grandmother with her wig. Now look at you.
That's a
Because
good
there
mhm.
there are teenagers that are rocking wigs like it's their hair. So I get it. You know what I mean? Trend is trend. However, be mindful of what it is, because as you get older, you don't want to have to wear a wig. You want it to be a choice. And if you don't take care of your hair in the interim, you're going to get to the point where you have no choice.
Mhm.
So
Got you. Got you. Got you.
I could talk about
So
this all day.
I'm like, so much is coming up for me. And
Bring it
definitely
on. Bring it on.
Juana, Magic,
Mhm.
Meline, Athenia, please send over any questions, and to the rest
I
of
see
you,
some. Is that the same as wearing a ponytail in there?
yeah,
Yep.
when we
Yep. Yep.
that's
So so
um,
as far as I just glanced over a couple of questions. So as far as protective styles, I do understand and I do know that wearing especially 4C natural hair, it's a lot to do. Natural hair is much more maintenance than if you had a relaxer. So I get it. We need to have things that we got to hurry up and go. We need to have styles that, you know, it doesn't take us like 5 or 6 hours to do in the morning or whatever the case is. So I understand the need for protective styles. So if you have to do it, just be mindful of it. And if you're wearing a ponytail, don't wear it in the same position all the time. If you're wearing a weave and you have to wear the weave all the time, when you get it done, have the stylist braid it in a different way. You know
so
what I mean?
this is kind of leading me to my next question on this topic and on
Hmm.
what's like best for us or not. Is there a better way to lighten hair and to hair color? Is there a list of stay away? Is there a list of do it this way? What would you offer for those of us who like
Leave
to
it to leave it to the professional,
leave it to the professional? Listen,
pretty much. Bottom line. And why am I saying that? Um, Color is not. Let me go buy this honey blonde box and put it on my black hair and get honey blonde hair.
mhm,
Color doesn't work like that. Color is chemistry. Color is, it starts off with a contributing pigment. What are you starting off with? Where you want to go? It's about developer. It's about, is your hair healthy enough to color? Um, what else are you doing to your hair after you color it? If you already have a chemical in your hair, is the color going to have an adverse effect? You can't put relax on your hair and then bleach it the next day. So I I I don't want to give advice to share with somebody how to color their hair. I would tell the person you need to go to a professional,
gotcha, gotcha.
because it's just so. On the flip side of that, there is a consumer market for lay people to color their hair, quite obviously, because there's boxes of color in the store. Um, Most color lines, though, are not. Let me see, how can I say this? So if somebody came to me to get their hair colored, I'm not going to the store and buy a color in a box. I'm formulating the color myself,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So, and let's say you decided you wanted to go color your hair, and you're looking at all of the different brands of hair color. Let me backtrack and say this. The majority of color companies, the majority, they may be a few now, they have not understood how to formulate color for curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because color strips the moisture out of your hair. And somebody that has straight hair doesn't require as much moisture as somebody that has curly hair.
Gotcha.
So when they formulated color, they didn't factor curly hair in. So the things that are in color, it doesn't have enough to sustain our texture. So that's why a lot of times when you color your hair, it becomes brittle, it becomes dry, because there's not enough sustenance in the color. So I can get into a whole what actually happens when you color your hair, but I'm not going to. I want y'all to stop coloring it. Stop coloring it.
Super. Note taken. Note taken. I will definitely have a little conference with my own story on doing my own hair. But I would like to swing us towards our my brothers and sisters that have locks. And
Mm-hmm.
some care. I see you reading the questions now. So
Should we? Okay.
um, just those questions, addressing the things that you've shared for us who don't have locks, in regards to the alopecia, in regards to how often their locks should be cleaned, and any other advice that you would give to our brothers and sisters with locks.
So locks are they were always prevalent, of course, but because our natural movement is so mainstream, everybody's, locking their hair, and it's the same advice that I would share with somebody that's locking their hair. First of all, ingredients play a big part in what you use to lock your hair with. A lot of lock products have petroleum in it. We should stay away from those. And then to what can happen when we have locks, we over twist them, and when we over twist them, sometimes that can cause thinning. So the gauge for how often you should twist your hair, no more than once a month. No more than once a month that you should get it redone. And if you want to wait longer, it's fine as well. So, and then it depends on your style of lock. You may have freeform locks where you don't want to groom it at all for 6 to 8 months because they're growing together. That's fine. The key is making sure that your scalp is clean, and then also making sure that there's no buildup in the locks. Um, and as far as ingredients are concerned, same thing. And locks don't require, because so I know that there are people that have locks and it's the longest their hair ever been in their whole entire life. They lock their hair and now their hair is down to the middle of their back, and it's like, oh my God, my hair has never grown this long because we're not touching it. However, a lot of oftentimes too is when you have locks, and if you're over grooming it, you'll find that women are now having to cut their locks off because they're getting alopecia in the scalp because it's thinning and the locks are heavy. So we have to be mindful, and it's absolutely a lifestyle situation as well. So um no petroleum based products for the locks, no products that have alcohol in it. More oil based products are better. Making sure that your scalp is cleaned at least once a month. Um, and that's basically it. And not over twisting, because sometimes we twist too much, and that also thins the hair out, and that can also cause traction. I love to color my hair, and I'm a, how do you feel good? How do you find a good colorist? Huh? Me? No, I'm kidding. um, so it kind of and I'm just is it okay? I can answer that question.
Yeah,
The person asked, how do I find a good colorist?
totally,
Okay, so
totally. And
just
actually,
in
if you could also answer a stylist
I,
overall.
I'm just getting ready to go in general as far as a professional to go you go to you can so a professional is going to have questions for you, right? When you go to anywhere to get anything done, and a person had they've never seen you, the first thing they want to do is have dialogue, find out a little bit about your lifestyle, find out about your hair history, find out about um what are you look what you're looking for, what have you been doing to your hair, what just have a consultation. So for me, consultation is key, um to just kind of getting to know the person that you're getting ready to provide a service for. And that's either a stylist or a colorist. And every stylist is not a colorist, unfortunately. um some of our African American hairstylists are not well versed in color. So if you go to a stylist that you tell them that you want and I'm gonna talk I'm gonna talk professional terms, but if you tell them that you want a honey blonde color, right? And honey blonde on a professional level is about a level 8 or 9. If you tell them that you want a honey blonde color and your hair is brown, let's say dark brown, and they tell you, okay, I have to bleach it first. You don't have to bleach it first. You can get to a honey blonde color from a lay perspective without putting bleach on your hair if the person knows what they're doing and they ask you the right questions. Now, if you've had black color on your hair and you've been doing like a box color all your life, and now you want to go to honey blonde, and they tell you, oh, we can do it. We have to bleach it first, and they didn't ask you that, and they bleach it, and your hair is green. That's what's gonna happen. So finding a good colorist is, you got to ask questions, and if they're not asking you the questions, not good. And if they're telling you off the top, oh, I have to bleach your hair first, not good. If they're telling you they have to go to the store and buy the color to put in, not good. So um, there's just so much.
Got you. So just a few more questions. So what we've kind of addressed weaves, wigs, we've addressed locks. So now how about for our brothers and sisters that are wearing bald and embracing their
Oh,
self and their beauty, that are not having to cut off due to, you know, a health condition? How do you see that trend going? What does it look
oh, I
like?
love it.
Yeah. Shit.
I love it. I love it. First of all, I am an advocate for you to embracing your beauty, or embracing just the skin that God gave you, because we're all created uniquely and beautiful. And if you are confident enough to wear your bald head, please do. Please, please, please do, and do it unapologetically, because it takes a whole lot of esteem to walk around with no hair, because society tells you that, hair is your crown and you have to have it and all of that. So for the women and men that want to rock their hair, whether or not it's from health concern or you just want to rock it, by all means, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I think give everybody all the face you got.
Question came up for me.
Yes.
So, regimen for them, that means that their scalp is now being exposed to sun and to
Hmm.
more. Is there anything that you would recommend that they put in place as far as care for it?
Yep. So being that you have no hair on your head, your skin is exposed like the skin on your body. So the treatment that you give the skin on your body is the same treatment that you would give the skin on your scalp. Same thing. If you wear SPF on your face, put the SPF on your scalp. If you are moisturizing the skin on your body, do the same thing to your scalp. Same exact thing.
Gotcha. And what messaging would you have for our children growing up about their hair and to embrace,
Um,
like what comes up for you in that area?
so I'm all things beauty, all things self-esteem. I think that we should speak to our children about embracing their identity, loving the skin that they're in, loving their hair texture. I think that for parents, dads, moms, whoever, make it be a ritual of self-care for your child. You know what I mean? Take time out to teach a girl about her texture. A lot of times we are busy,
Mhm.
and we don't groom our girls' hair like we should. So they go to school and they get ridiculed because their hair is a mess. Um, Society has not yet 100% embraced our hair texture. So to avoid a young girl coming home saying, "Oh, I want my hair straight," or "Oh, I want a weave," or "I want a whatever," I think that it's up to us as mentors, as mothers, as aunties, to teach that young lady how to embrace her texture. And then sometimes we need help in learning how to do it. So seek out a forum, a professional, or somebody to show you how to um, allow that girl to wear the hair. Now, I'm not saying the baby can't have an afro. I don't have a problem with that. But at least as long as the afro is clean, the hair is neat and it's groomed, rock your afro.
Mhm.
But I also know that there are some people that, because the natural movement is a thing, you think that you can walk around with your hair not done and it's a thing. I don't think that that's like it's not becoming.
Mhm.
So yes, you can do a natural hair look and it still be groomed and you look well. It doesn't give you license to walk around crazy. It doesn't give you license to walk around with a rag outside. It doesn't give you license to walk around with your day bonnet on. For me, and but people do it, so I get it. But at the same time, I think that embracing the way you look is something that we should take pride in, and whatever avenue, whatever, now not conforming you to any particular look,
Mhm.
but if you're comfortable in that look, then you can do whatever you want, but not just walking around like you don't care. Yeah, no, no.
Got you. Got you. All right. So I will say it's been a pleasure having you today, and I would love for you to share with the community your details. Where can they find you? Where can they get your services? What services do you offer? Um,
Okay.
else that you may have not been asked today that you're called to share before you exit? I would love to have things.
Oh, first of all, I'm excited to have been here. I thank you for the opportunity. As you can see, I'm still passionate. I could talk about all things here all day long. Um, I am right now in the middle of rebranding. So my salon is going to be moving. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. Right now I am on St. Mark's and Franklin Avenue. But I'm moving to Grand Avenue. My new rebrand name is going to be called the Healthy Hair Loft, and we are going to be doing all things healthy hair, clean beauty, non-toxic, and education on how to just take care of your natural hair. Education on how to grow your hair, how to color your hair. I'm working with a company that does a organic color line. It's still permanent color, but the ingredients in it is more organic. So basically, as far as finding me right now, you can follow me on Instagram at simply _underscore NICKKI. You can go to my website, which is www.simply Nikki NICKKI.com. That is soon going to change over to the Healthy Hair Loft, but if you start following me, it'll redirect you once that happens. I am absolutely open to helping anybody that's having a hair concern. I'm absolutely open to helping somebody that don't know what to do with themselves as far as their hair. They need advice. They need to find a stylist, whatever you need, because I do believe that our hair is our beauty, but I also believe that uh, beauty from the inside out is more than the hair on your head. So I'm more into the health of our bodies more than I am into hair care. But of course, hair care plays a big part in it. But I think African American people in general, we have so many disparities that we don't realize takes a big part in how our outer appearance is. So I'm more into holistic health, making sure that we're healthy on the inside, and then the hair is second. But because the hair is something that everybody sees, we have to address it. But we got to find out the underlying things first. So I am totally honored to be here. Thank you to all of you that hung out with us and had questions to ask. And if you need me, just reach out. I don't have a problem sharing at all.
Got you. And you did have one last question, and if you
Hmm.
answer that really quickly before
No
we end,
problem.
where do you see natural hair care in the next 20 years? The question was for the workspace, but I would ask you to kind of answer it in a generalized, but also add in the workspace as
Okay.
well.
So I do it twofold. First of all, I don't believe that natural hair is going anywhere. And the reason why I don't think it's going anywhere is because we are becoming a more holistic society, meaning that we want to be chemical free. We want to live longer. We're more conscious of what we put in our bodies. So I do believe that natural hair is a thing to stay. As far as the workplace is concerned, they're catching up. uh, there is still some conservatism in the workplace, depending on where you work. There's something called the Crown Act. I don't know if you guys heard of it. The Crown Act is legislation that's uh, it's a bill that's being written across the country where certain organizations can't discriminate for how you wear your hair. So it's been passed in about 5 or 6 different states. So it says natural hair should not be discriminated against. So there's a movement for that that's going on right now. You guys can look it up. You can sign a petition. I think New York has it. A few other states have already passed it. So I do believe that uh, you know how we are. Once we get on a movement, it's gonna continue to go.
Uh,
Uh, we are definitely here to stay. So I do believe the natural movement is gonna be here for the next 20 years. And as for me, part of my goal is to continue that journey on, so it's not such a struggle for us. It becomes a part of our mainstream day to day living.
well, I look forward to the Healthy Hair Loft
Yes, ma'am.
being
Yes,
what contributes to making that just bringing into that energy and pouring in and contributing to our health. And I want to thank you for all
thank
that you do,
you.
all that
Thank
you
you.
are. And I look forward to being in touch with you. I'll definitely
Yes, I so appreciate it. I so appreciate it. I think that I'm gonna inquire about being a vendor at you guys' Juneteenth thing. By then,
I hope so. I would love
I
to see
should be up and running. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. This was such a pleasure. I'm excited, and I could talk some more.
you. Oh, thank you. I could sit here with you all day, and because I know the questions just keep coming to me. I have
Mhm.
a list of questions. There are questions out there that would come all day. Who knows? Maybe we could have you back in the future and
Absolutely.
continue the conversation.
Absolutely. And if there are some questions that did not get answered, if you guys want to shoot them to me, I can answer them, and then you can send it back out to your community if you would like. I mean, if that's something that
That
I don't
works.
mind doing that.
You guys are welcome to continue sending in your questions. You could sit it in under the actual viewings of the live stream, which will be on YouTube, on Facebook. All of your questions will be answered. They will
They
be
absolutely will.
posted
They
and
absolutely will.
make sure that the information reaches you. And thank you again, Juneteenth family, all of our family out there stopping by, coming in to see what we had to give this month. And Athenia, come back in.
Hey,
Yes. Uh-oh. Hold up. My picture's not there. There we go. Hey.
hey.
All right, bring those earrings back in and close us.
Yes, they're beautiful. I need a pair. I need a pair. I only wear one, but I need a pair.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I only wear one as well, Nicole. I only wear one.
Yeah, I only wear one. Yes, yes, yes. I'm actually bald headed under this hat. I just got hair on the top, so I only wear one ear.
oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's different. No, so yeah, one of our vendors who actually she just emailed me and said that she wanted to be a vendor again this year.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, I'm always promoting. I
I
always tell
love
her I'm
it.
always promoting your stuff. I'm always wearing them. So
I love it.
uh, thank you. But Nicole, thank you so much. It was a
Oh,
pleasure to have
welcome.
you
Thank you.
with
Thank
us.
you.
You definitely, we had so many, everybody's like loving all of the great information that you
Oh,
shared and
that's
how
good.
the content was just so fruitful. So we definitely
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
good.
I know initially
Oh,
it was a little nerve wracking. I told you it would be good. I told you
I
we
know.
always
I all
start.
the time, all the time, all the time. I get like, I don't want to do it, but as you can see, it's like I talk all things here all day. So I absolutely just love just dialoguing. So thank you for
Awesome. Well,
having
it
me.
was definitely a pleasure, and we will share your information again and reshare this. But thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
You
you're
have been a
welcome.
blessing
And
to us.
if you guys need help with anything, I'm here. My schedule is crazy as we all are, but I don't mind.
Indeed.
Let me know.
All
I
right.
don't even mind doing a forum of a look and learn or something.
Awesome.
If you decide, yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah, yeah.
definitely take you up on that offer.
No
Right?
problem. No problem.
All
Um,
right, everyone. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Jamie, for hosting and being the beautiful host that you were and listening so intently and helping to guide the conversation.
Yes,
Again, we look
thank
forward to seeing you guys next month for our Learning Lab. And let's see, what do we have going on for next month? Next month will be April 18th at 5 o'clock, and we'll have our Carla Manning, and she is talking about equity and leadership. So that should be really good.
you. Hmm.
can't wait to
So
see you guys. See you then.
definitely. Have a
Have a
great
good
Sunday,
night.
everyone. Enjoy. This is Her Story Month, and we look forward to see you in April.
Yes, have a good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you.